Hi, my name is Brett Granborg. I'm an engineer at RTA, and I'm going to be describing how you can use InfluxDB with the historian.
Hello, my name is Brett Granborg. I'm a lead engineer here at RTA, and I'm going to be demonstrating some advanced ways that you can interact with the InfluxDB time series database that's built into the historian. So on the home page, you can see here that I've been gathering data from a PLC. In this case, I've been gathering data for several hours. On the PLC page, this is where I have my data configuration, and I've added some tags here that I'm gathering data from. I have a trigger set up for every 100 milliseconds, and then whenever that trigger occurs on this data storage page, I'm using that trigger to log data to the time series database. So that's all I need to get data into the time series database. So I'll show you how you can really get in there and see what's going on. So on the InfluxDB settings page here, you can see that we give the user the ability to control the various parameters for InfluxDB. And we also have this button that allows you to go to the InfluxDB webpage. So when you go to the webpage, this is all on the device. You can log in with the credentials that were set up on this page. So in this case, it's and now once you're in here, you have all of the control that InfluxDB provides to you through their UI. One of the most useful features is this Data Explorer section. And in here, you can see there's your PLC. And I want to map my seal pressure over time. So I select it, and then I find that I select last value, and then I can click Submit. And there's my data over the past hour. You can see here I have some spikes, and then I can change how this data is viewed in terms of the time window, if I want to see just the past minute. I can also choose different ways to display the data, whether I want to display it as a gauge or just a single stat. Then I have all that ability there. You can also take this data presentation and you can create a dashboard. So I'll click on this one, expand this so you can see all the different sections. So I have a dashboard that I've started creating here, and it's got a few different statistics. So you can build this all out and expand and resize these in whatever way you want. So this could be useful for you could favorite this and get a quick view of what's going on in your historian. Another interesting thing you can do with this UI is you can set up a notebook. So we'll add a new notebook. And then from here I can find my data. It's my seal pressure. And then if I click Run here, it'll move the data into the next section so I can see it as a chart. As a table. And there's a visualization, and I can also set up an alert here if I don't want to go through the historian to do that. So whenever this data exceeds, let's say 50, then I can send a Slack message, send off an HTTP post, or send an email or this PagerDuty thing. So that's one of the many features that this UI supports. In order to use the time series database, you can come into this UI, and within this load data section under sources, there's a section called client libraries. And if you click on any of these, so for instance, if I click on C#, it'll show me how to interface with the time series database through code. So you could write a client application that gets the data from the historian and then serves it somewhere else, or you could create a client application that posts data to this time series database if you wanted to use it for non-PLC data, for instance. And so yeah, that's some of the many things that you can do with this InfluxDB UI. Back to the webpage of the historian, if you don't want to use this UI, then you can turn it off by unchecking this, and that will close this port entirely. So nothing will be able to get through on 8086, You can still get your data from the web page, clicking Download Stored Data, but you would block off the ability for external applications to get into that port. These APIs are protected with an API key, which you can find on the InfluxDB settings page. It would be this admin token here, or this authentication token. So that's everything you need to read and write data from your time series database through the API. And it's also gives you the ability to visualize data in more sophisticated ways through this Influx webpage. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching.
Hope that was informational. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out in the link below, and look forward to future videos about the historian.